there's a lot of drama about the space station happening right now. So, starting with NASA announced plans to de-orbit the space station into this is in 2030 or 2031. They're going to de-orbit the space station, which, by the way, is the size of a football field now, into Point Nemo, an area also known as the South Pacific Oceanic Uninhabited Area, or SPOUA, where they've dropped 263 pieces from space since 1971. I mean, get some diving gear and go check it out if you want a souvenir satellite. NASA is working with commercial partners to attach docking modules to the station and is hoping to establish at least one of 3 commercial space stations with the help of private industry. They're also planning to send astronauts to the moon before the space station retires. Well, okay. There's the news from February of 2022. What happened after that? The head of Russian space program threatened to leave behind an astronaut and crash the space station into the U.S. What now? You might have seen this story. It was covered by all the late night shows. The head of the Russian Roscosmos, Dmitry Rogozin, put up a video threatening to take home the 2 Russian cosmonauts who were on the space station. Here's a picture of them. And leave the English guy, Mark Vandehei, Mark Vandehei, who is an importer-exporter from Vandehei Industries, according to a rumor I heard on Seinfeld. So, let's see that video. Okay. There's the cosmonauts waving goodbye. Hugging the astronaut, I guess. Blasting off from the space station. And then a bunch of Russian suits clapping. And now check out this animation. Bye-bye, Russians. Oh, and they're the American part, which is most of the rest of the station. Oh. It crashes and burns. Okay. That was weird. And then but then there was this story just a few days ago from Ars Technica. No, Russia has not threatened to leave an American astronaut behind in space. Say what now? The source of this news to Strand Vandehei appears to be a video published more than a week ago by Kremlin-aligned publication RIA Novosti. It's basically state TV, but they shared it acknowledging that the video was a joke. Okay, so is it true that they threatened to crash the space station into Earth? Yes. Did they say it was a joke? Yes. Was it a good joke? No. Was NASA planning to deorbit it anyway in 10 years? Yes. So what's the truth? What's going to happen? The truth is, both the two cosmonauts and Van de Hey, the American, are going to leave the space station as they were planning to. They're not going to leave him behind to crash, and the station is not coming down on your house, at least anytime soon. They're going to take a Russian rocket and land in Kazakhstan, and hopefully they'll make it back safe and everything will be fine. It was just an empty threat. You know, some of those right-wing Russians are mad at America for not letting them randomly murder 1 million people. Well, maybe we are letting them, but we don't like it. Now, what's really going to happen? Can we save it? What if Russia does detach their piece? What would happen? Well, let's see. According to Ars Technica, NASA officials believe the space station has at least a decade of lifetime left in it. And it says here it's been negotiating with the international partners to expand the operating agreement through 2030. And they have tentative steps to prepare for life in low Earth orbit after the station retires. That seems to directly contradict the other story. Let's see. At its most basic level, to keep the station flying, Russia provides fuel and thruster capability to periodically reboost the station to a higher altitude. So it, I guess it occasionally needs a little boost to stay flying, and that's where Russia comes in. NASA has gyroscopes, and its solar panels generate virtually all the electricity in the station. And so the Russian side has the rockets, the American side has the solar panels. There are cables running between the U.S. and Russian segments for avionics, thermal control, power, communications. But it, let's see, NASA has not spoken about any plans to disentangle. It says here, disentangling the U.S. segment from the Russian segment would be difficult, but it would be doable. Basically, if the Russians did detach their part of the station, we would have to send up our own Cygnus-fueled rocket. And let's see, Northrop has been able to build about 3 Cygnus vehicles a year. It would probably need to provide more to have a fueled Cygnus docked at the space station at all times for maneuvering. That means basically we could send our own rocket up there to attach to the space station and keep it flying without the Russian piece at all. So, do svidaniya, Russians. But it doesn't look like they're going to do that. Also, something that's not stated in all of the articles that breathlessly claimed that Russia is going to kill one of our astronauts is there's a German and a few other Americans on the station too. So it's not just that one American. Who knows why they made that stupid video, but chalk it up to far-right totalitarian anger at our freedoms. So what is it? Which is it? One of the articles said that NASA planned to deorbit the station in 2030. The other one said that it's looking to keep it going past 2030. Well, they're both kind of true. NASA did release a comprehensive plan to deorbit the International Space Station in 2030, and quote, the private sector is financially and technically capable of developing and operating commercial low Earth orbit destinations. So there's basically going to be some commercial space stations happening, and they'll probably will deorbit the real space station. I don't know why they don't just keep it up there and build on it. I guess because it takes more and more upkeep as the decades wear on. It was started in 1998, by the way. This is a look at the actual NASA report from this year, 2022, talking about, let's see, re-entry for early 2031. So that means they're planning to crash the space station into the ocean, the Nemo point, in 2031. Although there might, when that date comes closer, they might push it off. Basically, that's what it means. They predict that it's going to become hard to keep updating it past that point. But that is the current plan. And now, to add to the drama, when I was reading this abstract from NASA, it says here, the ISS partnership is examining the recent technical issues aboard the Russian segment, primarily the atmospheric leak in the service module. What was that? So I looked into that. This is also from Ars Technica. Russia threatens criminal charges against a NASA astronaut. This happened 3 years ago. 2017, I believe, or 2018, there was a hole found. It was a leak in the Russian segment of the International Space Station, and Russia blamed it on us. The Roscosmos said it completed an investigation into a hole found on the Soyuz spacecraft when the vehicle was docked to the International Space Station. Look at that hole. There's a picture of it here. That is not a random hole. That is a drilled hole. You can tell because there's drill marks all around it from where the person who drilled it apparently was fumbling around before they actually got the hole drilled. Who did this? It says a micrometeoroid strike was ruled out. Russian media reported that the hole had been caused by a manufacturing defect. Seems iffy. Sources in the Russian government stated the baseless rumors that perhaps a disgruntled NASA astronaut drilled the hole. This happened in 2021. Well, they found the hole in 2018, but in 2021, the Russian news service published accusations that an astronaut, a woman named Aunon Chancellor, that's her last name, Aunon Chancellor, had an acute psychological crisis, and while suffering an instance of deep vein thrombosis, and drilled a hole in an attempt to expedite her return to Earth. They also reported that Aunon Chancellor may have drilled the hole due to stress after an unsuccessful romantic relationship. What the F? NASA shot back that none of the U.S. astronauts on the station were near the Russian segment where the Soyuz vehicle was docked when the leak occurred or the moment it began. So it wasn't us being American astronauts. It could have been a defect in manufacturing, or did someone in the Roscosmos, did one of the cosmonauts drill that hole for some reason to sabotage the International Space Station way before the Ukraine invasion? Nobody knows. But in summary, don't look up expecting to see the space station crashing down in your head. It's not going to happen, at least for about 9 years, at which point it's going to fall into the ocean. This has been a deep dive. Next up, common nonsense.